come by our booth today, or if you stop by our office and you ask our people, or ask any of us, what are we working on? Most of us will probably respond that we are getting ready for the next bull market. So I thought, it'd be nice to start by sort of talking about what the bull market actually is. And I know you are a knowledgeable audience, so I won't go into detail, but of course there is economic growth, there is prices of securities are rising, but most importantly for us, the demand for Bitcoin and Trezors is increasing as well. And what that means for us specifically as a consumer electronics company is that we need to stock up, we need to build a lot of hardware, and we need to be ready to sell all those devices. For us specifically, we plan to sell, basically millions of devices in the next 3 to 4 years. And, unfortunately, this country specifically because of communism have, history of demand far exceeding supply. So that's what we are working on quite hard. So actually, this doesn't work. I just wanted to say a bit of a history about Trezor and the company, and actually the whole industry here in Prague, and why it's a sort of mecca for Bitcoin. So we were the first to worry about this, and I'm just wondering if you could, raise your hand if you have an idea what this thing you are looking at means, what it actually is. Just if you have a clue, raise your hand. Okay, so that's probably like less than 10%, I would say, of the room. So this is actually private key. It's an example of Bitcoin private key, and it's quite important to talk about it a little bit. So we were the first in the world. 10 years ago, we came with a solution how to securely store this private key, so it's not hackable online. It's offline on the hardware wallet, and we also came up with a human-readable format how you can transfer this very geeky thing into something human-readable, which is probably the 12 or 24 words where those the seed phrase that you write down and you store it somewhere safely. Now this number, you might be wondering what you are looking at. It's a big fucking number. It's actually a number of combination. You would need the most, you would need to brute force those, the actual private key by, combining those words in the seed phrase. Now, to, say it more practically, this is actually a number of years it would take the current, most advanced computer in the world to brute force that seed phrase. So as you can see, that's a pretty long time. And just an order of magnitude, the arrow is pointing at the whole history of universe. So that's how universe is actually old. It's some 14 billion years. This is significantly. This would take a significantly longer time. So I'm just trying to say, if you store Bitcoin using Trezor, writing down the seed phrase, you're safe. So again, we were the first to build a hardware wallet. So this is the very first prototype, and it's how the whole hardware industry actually started. So again, we were the first to worry about this technical stuff, translating in something that's easy to use. So you don't have to worry about this, and not just you, but actually millions of users around the world. So the current estimate is that there is around 420 million crypto users globally. And there is actually less than 2% of those people in actual self-custody solution in some hardware wallet, combining us and our competition. So as you can see, that's pretty small number. And of course, we are asking ourselves, how can we scale this? How can we provide the security that everybody needs in crypto and Bitcoin to how we basically approach this. And by the way, this number we expect the total number of users going in crypto and Bitcoin. We actually expect that it will double or even triple, to billion users global in the next couple years. So we have this mantra in the company where we basically say self-custody equals security multiplied by privacy multiplied by usability. And let me explain why that is important. Well, by a simple math logic, if you input a 0 in any of those three, you basically get a 0 on the other side of the equation as well. So let's see what happens if you remove security. So all those things happen. Actually, just a quick comment. Just minutes before I submitted these slides to Bitcoin Prague organizers, Atomic Wallet got hacked, and I think around or more than 30 million worth of Bitcoin, $30 million dollars worth of Bitcoin got stolen. So obviously, security is super important and paramount. Now let's remove privacy and let's see what happens. Again, and again. So, by nature of self-custody, you are the sole owner of the private key. You are ultimately responsible for, for what's behind those private keys. And obviously, imagine that, somebody knows where you store everything, and your privacy is sort of out there. And so you're a very easy target for any kind of attack. So privacy, again, is paramount in the self-custody. The last part, usability, that's where I would like to spend a little bit more time because that's it's absolutely crucial for self-custody to scale. So imagine you have a spectrum where on the left side there's users or about to be users who have absolutely zero idea about what is self-custody, what is private keys, what is Bitcoin. They've never heard of it. On the other side, you have the most advanced users you can imagine. They know every feature that is in the self-custody, and they know simply everything. So no knowledge on the left, everything there is on the right. So let's say Alice, here as an example, is somebody who's probably at exchanges today. So she knows the term crypto. I'm specifically using crypto because the newcomers don't even know the difference between crypto and Bitcoin. And she would like to get into self-custody. And here she is, Alice in self-custody. And for us, the huge question is, how do we actually make the sort of barrier lower for the person with zero knowledge to get the concepts of self-custody and get the product right? Because it's a very new concept that simply it has been here for 10 years and or a little bit more, but basically it's still very hard to get. So for us, the question is how we cross this gap between somebody having limited knowledge about the product to somebody who knows a lot about it. And the answer is basically twofold. So on one side, you actually need to educate the users, and on the other side, you need to lower sort of the need for education by building super easy to use and intuitive products. So again, on the first side, the education, even though we have pretty good, I would say, PR agency based in France that is doing a lot for us. I wouldn't say the name, but you might know who that is. But yeah, they're educating our users quite hard. But we are looking for more. So if you're an educator, please reach out to us, come by our booth, and we are happy to talk to you because we will invest heavily in education. On the product side, we are launching a lot of products, so just watch out. So we are here to make a Bitcoin and crypto security very easy and for millions of users globally. And I know what you are thinking. You are like, show me the products now. I want to see them all. We will actually launch a new hardware product this year, in Q4 of this year, and we will launch 2 more in the following year. So thank you very much, and stack sats while they are cheap. Apparently I have some time, so I was very fast. So we have 4 minutes for any possible questions you guys may have.
Hey, great talk. In light of a certain French company.
Hello. I would like.
I think there's two
ask one
questions at
question.
once.
Who's going first? Otherwise, okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
In light of a certain French company's recent moves and the backlash.
Yeah, the PR agency, yes.
Yes, the PR agency, exactly. Just thinking how we get from 8 million hardware wallet users to tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions. Do you think it is possible to convince that amount of people to, write down 12 words or 24 words to really take that self-custody, that proper step? Or will alternative solutions similar to that French company's one be necessary? So what are your views on it?
Yeah, so it's a good question because that's probably the most difficult and the most frequently asked in the office. That's for the product team, the crucial one. By the way, I think I agree with what this French agency tried to do in terms of what the problem is, and it's exactly this. It's still difficult. It's if you let's say if you really are the user who have no idea about Bitcoin. If you lose an access to your bank account, whatever, you just go to some office. Even in this year, you just go somewhere and somebody gives you the access. Of course, that doesn't happen in Bitcoin. So the short answer is it's difficult. We are trying to do everything we can to make it easier. And I believe it's actually a combination of both. It's making products that are super intuitive and easy to use, and it's simply the experience is very good. And on the other side, I think the education will always be very sort of important part of this. And by the way, again, this competitor that we are joking here about, they built the whole system on our open source code of a feature that we call Shamir Backup. It's basically another way how you can sort of multiply the security by splitting the seed. And so again, yes, I think it's hard, but by doing those two things, I think we can provide the security and the usability for millions and millions globally.
Okay, thank you. I would like ask one question about security. I found it cool that you made this device here in Czech Republic in Prague. However, are you thinking about the time when the normal computers are, overwhelmed by quantum computing? So are you preparing for the post-quantum era, or are you at least theoretically?
Yeah, so the simple answer is no. We are not doing anything today that we are changing it. The other answer to this question is I'm not technical, so I cannot give you a really advanced answer to it. But I guess it's a possible risk for the future. But I don't think we are there yet in some way.